good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, matibay babies!
Welcome to Matibay Class! Ma'am Tintin, may pa-activity kaya last week sa pre-calculus.
Yeah, and I'm so glad kasi napakarami nilang active. At hindi lang sila basta-basta active, nakita ko na talagang pinanood din nila at sinolve din nila.
Okay, marami din yatang ma'am, copy-paste. Hindi naman.
Pero ang importante sinabi ko sa kanilang note doon before is that, ano yung sinabi ko last time?
Hindi na natin kasalanan, Ma'am Tintin, kung copy-paste lang yun or hindi. Because
Yes,
at
at
the end of the day, ang niloloko mo ay sarili mo.
Yes.
Hindi si teacher.
Yeah.
Okay, kasi dapat, bago ka mag-submit ng ma'am, ng answer mo, lagi mo dapat iniisip kung may natutunan ka ba.
Yes.
Okay.
And aside from that, I am so happy with the result of their video discussions as well.
But, ayan.
Yes,
But
kasi,
all in all, ma'am, nakaka-proud ang ating mga anak.
STEM students, okay? At syempre,
Kailangan natin
magpatuloy. So let us proceed with our module.
Is this your last topic? Bago ka magbigay ng grade?
No, actually, pang-pito na ito. Pang next
second
quarter
grading na ito.
Yes.
So, nag-aantay na lang tayo ng iyong
Nag-aantay
computation.
na, within this week, makikita na ninyo ang inyong pinaghirapang grade.
Diyos, kung marami ka yatang kaaway sa mga susunod na araw. Deriving trigonometric identities involving sum and difference of angles.
And this is module
15.
Okay, so before that, let us proceed with our objectives. Meron
We have
tayong
two.
dalawa. First is to derive trigonometric identities. Diyos ko, gulaw-ulaw. Ulit-ulit, involving sum and difference of angles.
O, yan na naman, the prove identities
Correctly.
So, ibig sabihin yung mga last topic natin wrongly.
Incorrect. Wow, wrongly. I'm feeling incorrect. What major ka talaga?
Hindi ka nag-joke ako correctly. Wrongly. Okay ka na.
Okay. Basta yung nang-script.
Kasi naman incorrectly.
Galas.
Okay, galas. Welcome to pre-calculus class, day 15.
We are done in determining whether an equation is an identity or a conditional equation.
Na natin yun. In this session, mga anak, you will be able to derive trigonometric identities involving sum and difference of angles.
Let's begin! Okay?
Now, let's begin now. Okay? Yan na, ma'am. Oh!
Wow! Your favorite.
Yes, ito yung cos, cosine, sin, cos.
Sin, cos, cosine, cos, cosine, sin.
Yes.
Mga ganyan.
Okay, nung college tayo dyan, in-enjoy natin. Dapat ma-enjoy ito ng ating mga anak.
So we will do our best para i-enjoy nila ito ng bonggang-bongga.
Cos times x minus y is equal to cos
cosine sin.
Cos cosine sin. Ayun.
Yes. And cosine of x plus y is equal to cos cosine sin.
Kung
Cos cosine sin, x and y lagi yan.
Yes, ma'am. Kung may nakita ka dyan, minus siya dito, magiging addition. Addition siya dito, magiging subtraction.
Yes. Kapag sine naman ang pinag-uusapan, kapag plus, plus din siya. So, sin, cos, cosine.
And sin is sin cos cosine. Oo.
Agkasinsin.
Oo. Basta, malalaman natin yan mamaya. And tangent x plus y is equal to tangent x plus tan, all over 1 minus tan, and tan.
So, para mas maintindihan kung ano yung mga sinasabi natin ditong sine, cosine, tangent,
Let's apply
Let's apply this to our examples. This is not provided or walang nakalagay na ganito sa inyong module. So, for this certain topic, this is very important. Ito. So, dito, iikot ang ating discussion. So, don't worry, I'll be sending this sa ating group chat kapag sinend ko na ang video discussion. So, for this topic, again, dito tayo magfo-focus sa special angles na tinatawag. 30 degrees, 45 degrees, 60 degrees, sine, cosine, tangent, at ang kanyang equivalent sa 6 trigonometric function. So, para mas maintindihan kung anong pinagsasasabi ko, let's proceed with example number 1. Let's proceed with example number 1. Find the exact value of sine pi all over 12. Since naka-radian form yan, i-convert muna natin siya into degrees.
Why? Para mas madali.
Yes, para mas madali. So, pag kinonvert mo dyan, just simply multiply it. Napag-aralan natin yan before. Review na lang tayo. We have 180 all over pi. So, using our calculator, we have pi divided by 12 times 180 divided by pi. Okay, so the answer is 15. So in short, meron tayong sine 15 degrees. Next, you go back sa ating table. Special angles, we have 30, 45, and 60. Ano ang gagamitin mo dyan at ano ang gagawin mo para makuha mo ang 15?
Dalawa. Actually, pwedeng dalawa.
Yes, pwedeng dalawa. It can be 30, 45, 60, 45. But for this one, let's go with
60, 45.
60, 45. Ang gagawin natin is for sine 15 degrees, we are going to subtract
Sine.
60
Sine, ma'am.
degrees.
Sine
Sorry.
60 degrees.
Sine 60 degrees minus sine 45 degrees. At balikan natin yung identities natin. For sine, we have sin, cos, cosine. Kung subtraction yan, mag-stay siya. So you have sin, cos, minus cos, sin. So ganun yung shortcut niya. You have x, y, x, y. So this will be your x and this will be your y. Let's just substitute. You have sine x 60 degrees, cosine y is 45 degrees minus cosine x 60 degrees, sine y 45 degrees. At para malaman mo yung equivalent values niyan, you go back with the table. So you have sine 60. Sine 60 is square root of 3 all over 2. That's why sabi ko yung table is very important. Times cosine 45. Cosine 45 is square root of 2 all over 2. Minus cosine 60 degrees. Cosine 60 degrees, 1 all over 2. Times sine 45. Sine 45 is square root of 2 all over 2. Let's simplify. Square root of 3 times the square root of 2, square root of 6 all over 2 times 2 is 4. Minus 1 times square root of 2, square root of 2 all over 2 times 2, 4. Since pareha sila ng denominator, similar sila, simplify pa natin. You have square root of 6. Hindi mo sila pwedeng isubtract kasi magkaiba sila ng nasa loob. So just simply copy square root of 2 all over 4. This is already our final answer. Number 2, let's find the exact value of cosine 15 degrees. Kanina sine, paano naman kapag cosine? Again, 15 degrees. So, pwede kang mag-subtract ng 45 minus 30 or pwede ring 60 minus 45. This time, gamitin naman natin si
45, 30.
45, 30. So, you have cosine 15 degrees is equal to cosine 45 degrees minus cosine 30 degrees. So, pag cosine, meron kang cos, cos, sin, sin. Kapag minus, it will become positive. Kapag positive naman, magiging negative.
Kapag
so,
cosine.
Yes, kapag cosine. Cos, cos, negative, magiging positive. Sin, sin. So, x, y, x, y. This will be your x, this will be your y. Let's substitute. Cosine x, 45 degrees. Cosine y, 30 degrees. Plus sine 45 degrees. Sine 30 degrees. Hanapin natin ulit yung equivalent niya sa table. You have cosine 45. Cosine 45 is square root of 2 all over 2 times cosine 30. Square root of 3 all over 2. Copy plus sine 45. Square root of 2 all over 2 times sine 30 is 1/2. Simplify natin ulit.
Square root of 6.
Square root of 6 all over 4 plus square root of 2 all over 4. Parehas sila ng denominator. Is simplify square root of 6 plus square root of 2. Again, ulitin ko, hindi mo sila pwedeng i-add or i-subtract kapag magkaiba sila ng nasa loob. All over 4. Final answer. Baka sabihin ninyo, parehas siya. No. Kanina, ang sagot natin sa sine 15 degrees is subtraction. Kay cosine 15 degrees, it's addition. So, I hope na-gets ninyo yung difference. Ba't yung laway mo dito? Opo, kaya nakaka-pressure siya. Let's start. Kanina wala ka
Oo,
start.
sige na.
Let's move on to our last but not the least example. Yan. Find the
Bakit
exact
not the least?
value.
Kasi tatlo tayong math major na nag-usap-usap.
Para ma-solve. Yan. Find the exact value of tan 7 pi all over 12. So, gaya ng sinasabi ko, para mas madali ang buhay, convert muna natin siya kay degrees. So, 180 all over pi. O, since ilang beses na natin naulit, alam na natin na ang sagot ay tan 105 degrees.
Okay.
Balikan natin ang special angles. Ang gagamitin natin ay sina
60
and
and 45,
45 degrees.
Plus.
We are going to add. So, we have tangent 105 degrees is equal to tan 60 degrees
plus
tan 45 degrees. So, balikan natin yung ating table sa ating sum and difference sa identities. Kunin natin si tan plus. Tan plus. So, ayan. So, tan plus, gagamitin natin si tan x plus tan y all over
1
minus tan x tan y. Let's substitute. This is our x, this is our y. So you have tan, our x is 60 degrees plus tan 45 degrees all over 1 minus tan 60 degrees times tan 45 degrees. Okay, next, kunin natin ang kanilang equivalent dito sa ating table. For tan 60, we have square root of 3. For tan 60, we have square root of 3 plus, for tan 45, we have 1. All over, copy, 1 minus, tan 60 is square root of 3. And tan 45 is, multiply natin siya, 1. Let's simplify. Copy ang numerator, square root of 3 plus 1 all over 1 minus 3 times square root of 3 plus 1 is equal to square root of 3. Next,
Kung kanina na walang
kung
kasama.
kanina isang term lang yung nasa denominator natin, kaya tayo nag-rationalize. Ngayon, question,
Binomial, kung binomial siya.
kapag binomial or may kasama ang ating radical, ang gagamitin natin is conjugate. Iko-conjugate natin siya. At kapag in-apply mo si conjugate,
Mag-change ng
okay,
sign.
tuloy natin dito. So we have copy square root of 3 plus 1 all over 1 minus square root of 3. Pag in-apply mo si conjugate, yung negative sign,
Maging positive.
it will become positive. So, meron kang 1 plus square root of 3 all over 1 plus square root of 3. Next, let's simplify. Okay? Dito sa taas, we have now square root of 3 plus 1 times 1 plus square root of 3. Ifo-FOIL method natin siya all over 1 minus square root of 3, 1 plus square root of 3. Unahin natin yung numerator. Square root of 3 times 1 is square root of 3. Square root of 3 times square root of 3
Square root of 9.
plus square root of 9. Next, 1 times 1 plus 1. Next, 1 times square root of 3 plus square root of 3. Mamaya tayo mag-simplify all over. 1 times 1, 1. 1 times square root of 3 plus square root of 3. Next, negative 3 times 1.
Negative.
Negative square root of 3. Next, negative square root of 3 times square root of 3. Negative square root of 9.
Simplify.
Simplify. Square root of 3. Square root of 9.
3.
3. Plus 1 plus square root of 3. Medyo mahaba. Ganun talaga. 1 plus square root of 3 minus square root of 3 minus 3. Ayan. Pwede nating i-apply ang combining like terms. You have square root of 3. Ito muna. 3 plus 1.
4.
So, square root of 3 plus 4 plus square root of 3. All over sa baba. 1 plus square root of 3. Ay, sorry. 1 minus 3 pala.
Negative 2.
So, you have dito, meron ka ng negative 2. Combine like terms natin. Minus square root of 3. Pwede natin i-apply ang
Go.
next. So, dito sa denominator natin, kung titignan mo, pwede mo siyang i-cancel. Kasi positive, negative, pwede mo i-cancel. So, simplify natin ang nasa numerator. So, meron ka ditong imaginary 1, meron ka imaginary 1. Pag pinag-add mo yan, since parehas sila ng nasa loob, pwede mo silang i-add. So, you have 2 square root of 3 plus 4. All over, ang natira sa baba is negative 2. Next, pwede mo pa siyang i-simplify. Both divisible by 2. So, 2 divided by negative 2
Negative 1.
is
Sige,
negative square root of 3. Both divisible minus
2. 2.
2.
Oh, answer na yan.
Final answer. So, ang sagot natin is negative square root of 3 minus 2.
Okay, let's have our first example on proving identities using sum and difference. Kanina, mga anak, pinakita namin ang definition ng ating sum and difference identities. Tama
Yes.
ba, Ma'am Tintin?
Yes, meron tayong 6.
Oo, nandun yun sa ating
PowerPoint.
Oo, PowerPoint at makikita yan nila sa
kanilang
kanilang module number 15 na mayroon tayong 6. Okay, the sum and difference of cosine, the sum and difference of sine, and the sum and difference of tangent. Okay, our first example is sine quantity pi all over 2 minus theta.
Ayan.
Okay?
Minus yung operation.
Okay. Alam natin that when we talk on sine, since minus yan, x minus y, okay, ang sine po kasi is equal to sin cos, tama ma'am?
Yes.
Cos
Sin.
sin. Okay? Since minus yan, this is minus, tama ma'am?
Yes.
This is x, this is y, this is x, this is y.
Y.
Okay, nakakasunod po?
Yes.
Now, since the given is sine pi all over 2, alam natin mga anak that pi all over 2 is also equal to 90 degrees. Sir Jason, paano mo naman nalaman na ang pi all over 2 is equal to 90 degrees? Di ba ma'am, alam na natin? Alam na natin ang conversion ng pi to degrees. So,
O kaya
minus,
titigan mo lang, yung pi is 180
Oo,
divided by 2, di 90.
O, di 90.
O, di ba,
Pi.
genius ka?
Okay, so meron na tayong 90 pi or 90 degrees minus pi. Wala pong pinagkaiba sa ating given. Nakakasunod, Ma'am Tintin?
Yes.
Let's set this 90 degrees as our x and our theta is
Our y.
Okay, by substitution, we have now sine, our x is 90 degrees,
Times.
cosine, y is theta. Nakakasunod?
Yes.
Minus cosine of x, while x is 90 degrees, okay, times sine,
Theta.
theta. Nakakasunod?
Yes.
This is equal to sine 90 degrees. Okay, using our calculator, alam natin
1.
that sine 90 degrees is equal to 1. Okay? Then copy cosine theta. Minus cosine 90 degrees. Ano po kaya? Cosine 90 degrees is equal to 0.
0.
Then sine theta. Let's multiply. 1 times cosine theta, syempre, cosine theta. Kasi lahat ng i-multiply mo kay 1 is equal by itself.
Yes.
Tama? Minus 0 times sine is 0.
Zero.
That's why cosine theta is the final answer.
Oh, ang dali.
Oo, kung alam mo ang definition ng sum and difference identities, maski balik-baliktarin mo ang mundo, madali na yan.
True.
So naman,
That's
syempre,
why.
at number 2, number 3, dahil si Ma'am Tintin ang inyong teacher, siya ang mag-explain.
Ng number 2 and number
Number
3.
three.
Let's go. Let's proceed with our second example.
And time check, Ma'am Tintin, 2:00 na po ng madaling araw. Pero
Kasi
syempre,
ang dami nating
ang dami namin, kasi syempre birthday ni Ma'am Tintin, ang dami naming mga ibang
ganap
mga
sa
ginawa.
buhay.
Pero hindi namin pwedeng pabayaan kayo dahil ganun namin kamahal ang aming trabaho.
Siyempre, mahal na mahal din natin mga students
Oo,
natin.
hindi lang trabaho. Iniisip natin, actually pwede naman nating YouTube na lang yan.
Yes.
Okay.
So let us proceed with example number 2. And example number 2 is cosine quantity pi all over 2 minus theta. Sabi nga ni Sir Jason kanina, dapat alam natin ang ating 6th identities pagdating po sa ating sum and difference. So, una sa lahat, i-convert muna natin yan.
Difference of cosine.
Yes. We have cosine pi all over 2, 90 degrees. Sulat muna natin lahat. Minus theta. Next, ano ang sum and difference niya? So, we have cosine x minus y is equal to, ang sum and difference niya ay cos, sin. Yan. Subtraction yan. Ang rule, kapag subtraction, lalagyan mo daw ng add dito.
Kapag cosine, addition.
Yes, kapag cosine. So, this is our x, this is our y, this is our x, this is our y. Okay? So, ito po ang ating x at ito naman ang ating y. So, let's substitute cosine 90 degrees minus theta is equal to cosine x. Ang x natin ay 90 degrees. Cosine y theta. Plus sine 90 degrees sine theta. Using our calculator, i-convert natin siya. Yan.
Hindi makikita yan.
Ay, sorry. Cosine 90 degrees is equal to 0. So, it is equal to 0. Ang cosine theta natin ay copy. Cosine theta. Plus, ang sine 90 natin, 1 yun siguro. Cosine 90, 1. And then copy, sine theta. 0 times cosine theta, cancelled. Or 0 yan. Kaya huwag mo nang isulat. 1 times sine,
Sine theta.
sine theta.
Dali.
Final answer. Next!
Pinakamadali din pala yan.
Oo, pinakamadali rin pala. Next example will be, we have cosine theta plus pi. We have cosine x plus y. And take note, ang pi po natin is equivalent to 180. So, meron tayong cosine theta plus 180.
Para lang yan.
Ano naman ang equivalent ng addition natin kay cosine? We have
Cos, sin.
minus. Cos
sin,
minus sin x, y. Okay, let's substitute.
May
We have
sa taas.
we have cosine theta plus 180
Naghabulan
is
sila
equal
ng ahas sa
to
taas.
cosine, ang x natin ay theta, cosine y is 180 degrees minus sine theta, sine 180 degrees. Next, cosine theta, copy. Cosine 180 is equal to cosine 180 degrees is equal to negative 1 minus sine, copy ang sine theta, and then multiply sine 180 degrees. It is equal to 0. Cosine times negative 1, negative cosine. Theta. 0 times sine, cancelled. Final answer.
Ma'am Tintin, niloloko mo kami.
Bakit?
Iba yung sagot ng nasa TG.
Yeah. Sabi nga namin, paulit-ulit, hindi po lahat ng nasa module natin ay correct.
So, this is the correct
bear
answer.
with your module. Ito po ang ating tamang sagot. Okay.
Goodbye, mga anak. Lagi natin tatandaan.
Malat ka, girl.
Oo, malat ako. Grabe, kanina pa tayo. Ikaw
Lagi
na.
natin tatandaan, lahat yan ay kayang-kaya natin, basta magtulungan, at lagi ring tatandaan na tayong lahat ay #matibay.